YouTube brothers and sisters, Johnny Boombad here, training in a tiny place, hardcore bodybuilding in a tiny space. Used to be van life in a tiny space, getting jacked and ripped in a van during COVID, traveling Alberta, not complying to mandates, not receiving any COVID vaccinations. Time has gone on quite a few years since my first YouTube video, preparing to live out of my van during COVID into a bachelor suite apartment, and now into a small bedroom with actually more equipment than I had in the bachelor suite. And making do in a tiny space is always achievable with lots of organization, making sure that you have a place for everything and everything in its place, including all your collection of shoes under the bed, and having hangers on your wall to hang up all your gym tees, all your tank tops, all your shirts with the sleeves cut off, your military bag that you pack all your essential shit in whenever you go out on the street or to work, your fanny pack for your wallet, and some tools and extra shit you might need while you're booting around, getting shit done or going to work. These two things here: buck knife, keys, always in the same place, more hooks to hang hoodies, more hanging for bathroom necessities, I guess, different things, personal items that you might need, including any essential gear that I might have stashed in one of these zippers. It's my little hidden tech away there. And pellet gun for target practice. You gotta love this guy, because we're always open here in Johnny Boombad training land. Of course, my roots began back in 1994 when I was a teenager back at the Bullpen Gym. Google it, Bullpen Gym, Edmonton, Alberta. The most hardcore gym in Edmonton. And I always hold the Bullpen Gym close to my heart. Bullpen Gym, till death do us part. I made a vow, and Bullpen Gym lives with me every day. Even though I've been on the grind and constantly on the grind, I very rarely make it over to the West End, but when I do, I'm always on the grind. And I say hi to Big Roger, Rena Tomasi, and of course, Pete. I love you, Pete. Peter, my main man, and Sheila, and the whole Italian family from the Bullpen Gym, and all my old brothers and sisters from the Bullpen Gym. Every time I train, it's always in memory and in my roots of being at the Bullpen Gym. And I will go back there very soon indeed to have a good visit with Roger and Mama and however many kids there in the family now. And they're always very welcoming. So make sure you Google and check out Bullpen Gym, or go on Instagram, check out Bullpen Gym, And you can see one of the most hardcore gyms in the world. And I'm going to start training shoulders here. So I'm going to do some front military presses. So I'm just setting up here. You always want this when you get a bar, because when you're putting on your collars, they twist on and nothing's falling off. So I'm just going to get this all, my bench all properly aligned, and got my weight stacked there of 10-pound plates. I always move up with 10-pound increments. Rena at the Bullpen Gym knows that. She loves my training style of the 10-pound increments. She actually got a good laugh out there one day because I was saying, yeah, I pyramid up with 10-pound increments and I get progressively heavier into my working set. And she loved the technical bodybuilding jargon that I was using. Shouts out to Rob. Rob, you know what the Bullpen Gym's all about. My good man, Rob. My best friend, Rob, that made friends with me when I was doing van life and I was sleeping in the Walmart parking lot in my van, and he brought some food out to me, and yeah. Shouts out, Rob. We've never lost touch, bro. We've never lost touch. You've always been with me ever since COVID, man. I love you, bro. And of course, shouts out to all my new and loyal subscribers. You know who you are. You send me some really awesome, encouraging messages. West Sider Rider. I have a shittier memory, but you know who you are. You guys are the only guys that send me really encouraging messages. So you're indeed my brothers, and I respect you and appreciate that. And I'm just as loyal to you as you are to me. And I don't think I was able to make a reply on your comments with my last video because there was some glitch in my phone and it wouldn't let me send anything over. But here I am, Johnny Boombad, and we're going to smash some delts at my ultimately shredded level now at 5'10" ectomesomorph. Woke up this morning at 186 pounds, very close to contest condition. Just going to dial in. I probably got to lose about 3 more pounds, and then I'm going to start filling up, and it's business as usual. Get jacked and ripped no matter what. Yeah, jacked and ripped no matter what. Yeah, get jacked and ripped no matter what. Yeah, jacked and ripped no matter what. Yo, yeah, 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 yeah. Here we go. Okay, so you can see this setup here. And you want to make sure you got everything aligned properly. Now you can see my feet are going to go right here at this bar. And you can see that's lined up parallel. The squat rack that I'm using for my barbell, it's an adjustable squat rack. You can use it for bench press and for shoulder press too. It's all parallel. It's all lined up. You can take a measuring tape and make sure everything, all your spacing has to be exact. So you got that all perfectly center on both sides. And then coming around, this is a 15-pound bar. Now, you can see the back end here. As you can see, it's perfectly center in the middle there. And you can come up and you can see that's perfectly center on both sides. Now, I'm not going to be lifting with my hands on the insides. I got these 2 squat racks here close enough together that I'm going to have my hands on the outside, nice and wide. And I don't have this bar, the squat rack, set up too far away from my bench. And I have that just on one notch incline there with a pin. The first one puts me too straight, but the second one notch gives me just enough incline to get the groove perfect. Now when I actually sit on the bench, my chest is going to come to here and my chin is going to be here. And so when I lift off the bar, I don't want to have to lift it up and bring it too far back, because that's just a movement that can cause injury, lifting it up and bringing it back. So I virtually want to lift it up and bring it back just a couple inches, just enough to be able to do my pressing movement up and down till I go to failure, and then it's right there above my head within a few inches to rack it. Now, so when you're working with a 15-pound bar, keep in mind that the bars in the gym are 30 pounds, so you're able to add a 45-pound to one side without it tipping over, and then a 45-pound to the other side. If you were to add a 45-pound bar, 45-pound plate to this side with a 15-pound bar, it would tip and you'd have a disaster. So I always use 10-pound increments on these 15-pound bars. If you didn't want to do increments, what you got to do is you got to turn this 15-pound bar into a 40-pound bar. So that way you can add on 50 pounds. So what you would do is you'd put on 20 pounds on this side, two 10-pound plates, and two 10-pound plates on that side. Or even, well, just to be safe, add two 10-pound plates. You could add one, but you still run the risk of tipping it over. And then if you're really strong at these presses and you wanted to add two 10-pound plates aside, then the bar is heavy enough to go ahead after that and add on your 45 or 50-pound plate on one side and then on the other side without tipping over. I have 50-pound plates. You can see it there. They have the 1-inch hole. I love them. They're Joe Weider plates. So once you get it all set up, I'm going to get in here now just to test it out. See, hands are nice and wide. I'm lifting it up. I only got to bring it back just enough to clear the hitch. The head's back. You don't want your head down because you're going to hit the top of your head. Head's back. Lower back is arched. Chest is up. And I bring it just down to my chin. There's no need for me to go down to here. And I'm not even that flexible. If you're that flexible, you can, but do it without causing injury. I get enough, strong enough movement, bringing it right down to my chin. As soon as it gets down to my chin, up, 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 up. And I'm not locking out. I'm not coming all the way up and locking out. Okay, this is a advanced bodybuilding technique. You'll see a lot of bodybuilders not going all the way down and not going all the way up, but keeping it in the middle, and that's where you're going to hit the muscle most, is in the middle. So once you get here, then you're putting stress on the joints. Once you get here, then you're overstretching and also running the risk of injury. So boom, and then you rack it. Boom. Now you can see I got this movement here. So in order for me to get rid of that, what I do is I take my 50-pound plates, because I'm not going to be using it. They're just down here. And I'm literally just going to lay one over top of the base of the squat rack. And that's going to, 50 pounds is going to prevent it for moving. I have them right here. All I have to do is roll them over, set it down, and boom. Well, I'm wrong. I fucked up. It's been a while since I did this. You don't want to do it on the side or push it. You want it on the side, on the opposite side, so it's not gonna push that way. So I'm just gonna roll them over to the other side because I don't want that to move when I'm racking it. And this is, you improvise. You learn these things as you go along. You always got to practice safety first. Make sure all your equipment's aligned properly. Your body is center in the middle of the equipment. So your dynamics are all squared off and perfect. So this is one of the advanced techniques of having your own equipment in home gym, is you don't have to do that in a regular gym. Everything's going to be done for you. But this is all part of hardcore bodybuilding, is doing it yourself. And that's what it is. Just makes it all that much more hardcore. So you're going to roll those plates around to the other side. And I'm going to start my warm-up sets. Literally, you don't have to even pick them up. You can literally just roll them. And I do have a little energy today. Although I've been working my job very hard. I'm just working hard in general on the weekends. When I come home for my days off, I work. I sweep my room, I sweep the kitchen, I do my dishes, I do my laundry, I do my meal prep. I take the blower and blow all the leaves and the dirt off the driveway to create a nice landing pad for mine and old man Art's flying saucers. I told him, you like that joke? I told him I'm going to blow off all the dirt and debris so we got a nice place to land our flying saucers, being my truck and his SUV. Yeah, he's 94 years old, and I keep telling him he's freaking hot. He's a hot commodity for those women out there. Yeah, see suntans and everything. He's German, and he's freaking classy. He wears classy clothes, and he still has all his hair, and it's bleach white and a white beard and sophisticated glasses. Yeah, gives me a lot of hope to live to 94 and be tanned as heck like him and have a head of white hair and a golden white beard. Not even golden, but stark white, bleach white. But of course we know end days are here. I don't mean to be a party crasher, but it's all over in 7 years. I won't get into that. I'm just going to add my 10-pound increments for Rena so I can get into my progressive overload. Do that? Hear that clanging? Eh? You're not going to flip and hear that at the new corporate gyms. Everything's rubberized. God forbid you have a little bit of noise in a gym. God forbid you have a little bit of clanging. You don't want that. No. Ah. Of course. For the love of casual. You know? See that? You start pissing around and all hell breaks loose. Things fall and you fucking get in trouble from the boss. So let's not do that. But yeah. The Bolt gym has up to 200-pound dumbbells. And they're all metal, steel dumbbells. And that's, what really disgusts me about today's world is that everything's got to be new and updated and modern. God forbid you have anything old, or there's a chip of paint coming off the wall, or you got a hole in the leather of the seat and you use some Gorilla Tape to patch it up. We don't want to see any kind of syringes hanging out of the garbage can. Technicalities, formalities, principalities of anal retentive gayism is what I call it. The world has become gay. Okay? Gyms are gay. SUVs are gay. So let's just focus on everything that's not gay. See that? The chin is a perfect guiding point to where you want that barbell to come down to. The chin. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. But we want to do it by the hair of my chinny chin chin because that's how we roll up in here. That's a sigh of the extreme monotony of constantly fighting through every day, being tired. Because I'm tired, but I'm fucking wired. I'm tired, but I'm fucking wired. And we're going to add another 10-pound increment on there. We're going to add another 10-pound increment on there. Yeah, we're going to add another 10-pound increment on there, Rena. We're not going too heavy today. We're just trying to get a shoulder blast. We're trying to get a shoulder blast from the past. While you look at my ass and you smoke your grass. Don't be looking at my ass while you smoke your grass. Actually, don't even be smoking grass, buddy. Don't be smoking no grass. My marijuana smoking days are over. We have to be in control of our mind at all times these days. We can't have anything alter our minds or send us into any delusion. God calls us to be awake and ready at all times. And You remember doing these can put strain and compress your spine. So if you're tired from after work and you need that extra support, don't waste time in throwing on the back belt. You want to keep the midsection and the lower back tight. One power body unit as we slowly get into this. And I haven't did these in a long time, so right now it's getting the mind muscle connection back. And make sure to roll that bar all the way back to the hitch there. It's just feeling better and better with every set as the joints, the ligaments, the tendons get warmed up. And that's exactly why we do 10-pound increments, and that is a Joe Weider principle. It's what it all boils down to. It's Joe Weider principles. Some could say, oh, I don't agree with this training method or that training method, without seeing the whole bigger picture, which is the Joe Weider principle. Use all kinds of different training methods at different times. It's called strategizing your training. They're all meant to be utilized at certain times and certain lengths of times. So if someone says, like Sam Sulek says, I don't agree with Mike Mentzer's heavy duty. Well, okay, elaborate on that. And then even if you do elaborate, there's nothing to elaborate on, because every training principle works to an extent, and they're all out there for us to use at any given time. And as a bodybuilder, you can be creative and you can detail it to suit yourself, just like how Dorian Yates took Mike Mentzer's heavy duty and he detailed it to suit himself. So for anyone who says, oh, I don't agree on that training principle, I don't think it works. Who are you? Is what I say. Who are you? Should we cut off your tongue? Maybe not. But blabble, blabble, blabble. Free blabble. Blah, 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 blah. Always look at the bigger spectrum, the bigger picture. Don't just narrow in on one training method and say, that doesn't work. If it's a Joe Weider training principle, and it's a proven principle that many bodybuilders have used, then it works. If you add it into your training cycle at the wrong time, it might not work for you. Okay? This is when instinctive training comes in. You want to be able to... Bodybuilding is not just about training, eating, sleeping, and dieting. It's evaluating, mentally strategizing and thinking about game plans. That's what, ultimately intrigues me about it is being the master manipulator of your strategy and game plan and following it strategically and tweaking it if you have to, depending on your circumstances. It's such an amazing sport. It's very transparent, and the only thing that we don't want to do wrong is train incorrectly. So we're going to add another 10-pound increment, Rena. You can hear those collars, the spindles, called spindles because you have to spin them off. They're not actually collars, they're spindles. Let's be specific. So now we've got 40 pounds aside. That's 80 pounds plus the bar. That's 95 pounds that we're going to be pushing overhead. 95 pounds that we're going to be pushing overhead. Okay? Some people can't even lift 95 pounds off the floor. You know, they can't even. 95 pounds in itself is 95 pounds. It's not a lightweight by any means. Doesn't mean to say that it's going to be hard for somebody because it's 90 pounds, but I'm sure Mike O'Hearn could do a couple hundred reps with 90 pounds. Doesn't matter. It's still heavy. We can't help that some people are freakishly strong. But, you know, strength doesn't really matter because we all have individual DNA. One guy maybe be able to develop a nice, massive body using 90 pounds. Another guy, it's too light for him. He's got to do 200. So it's all the same. It's all the frickin' same. So once again, upright, everything tight. Woo! Feels good. 16 reps, 16, 17 reps, but yeah, heavy. It's heavy. And you can see I trained explosive. So this is me training. Not Mike O'Hearn training. This is Johnny Boombad training. An ectomesomorph at 5'10", carrying what? Carrying 50 pounds of muscle on an ectomorph meso frame. 50 pounds of muscle. So that would mean that as a non-bodybuilder, being as lean as I am now, I'd be 140 pounds. Now you take a mesomorph, say same thing, but 160 pounds, and you add 50 pounds to 160. 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. Now you got a 210 pound bodybuilder. You take a endomorph, which is his weight being a non-bodybuilder, very lean, at 180 pounds, add 50 pounds of muscle, 80, 90, 110, 20, 30. You got a 230 pound bodybuilder. So it's not about how big you are, it's about how much muscle you're carrying on your frame. And most big bodybuilders are carrying 50 pounds of muscle on their frames. Think of it that way. I guarantee you I'm the only one that's ever talked about it like this. Because I am a guru. I've been living, eating, sleeping bodybuilding for over 30 years. Not to say that nobody else is a guru. There is. I mean, look at Lee Priest. Look at all the bodybuilders from the 90s. They're all gurus. They're all gurus. And now in 2000, guys come up so quick that they don't have the decades of hard work put in yet to be a guru. They may be massive, but they've only been training for 6 years. That doesn't qualify you to be a guru. So I don't know, I think we're on our 4th set here of progressive overload. Now we got 50 pounds aside. Did 40 pounds aside for 16 reps. And those weren't warm-up reps, those were working reps. Going to failure at 16 reps without causing injury or lifting improperly. Always quit lifting. Lifting to failure means that you lift to failure in complete form. If you think lifting to failure and on your last 2 reps is shitty form, those 2 reps aren't included as failure. Failure can only be reached in perfect form. And if you finish that last rep to failure and it's in perfect form, that's heavy duty. And Dorian Yates will agree with me on that. His reps were always performed with perfect form. And that's how you can do heavy duty training without injuring yourself, is through progressive overload, which is a Joe Weider training principle. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Even Mike Mentzer calling it heavy duty training is using Joe Weider principles in his heavy duty training by using progressive overload to get to that heaviest weight. Not once did he ever say, jump into your heaviest set right off the bat. Not once. The only thing he's ever said was, don't go to failure on your non-working sets. Only go to failure on your last 2. So that's where I switch it up a little bit, because I tend to go to failure on my warm-up sets, which are the higher sets, higher reps. I will go to failure at 16 reps. Always make sure that you got the same amount of weights on both sides. If you get distracted and you got 4 plates on one side and 5 on the other, it could cause disaster. Make sure that belt isn't lifting up. Okay. Everything tight. Everything tight. Oh shit, I don't think I have. Nope. That's it. Hey, that's it. There's no doing it. No, that's the first time in a long time, and I can honestly say that means my energy stores are depleted. I have been dieting, and that's what it is when you get ripped and you're very close to 6%, 7% body fat, and that happens. Just stop. Think of it this way. If you're shredded at 6, 7% body fat and you're jumping on stage in a week and a half, and that happens, don't even freaking go there to try to no, because then you're out of the game. And this happens to a lot of advanced bodybuilders, and it's just the way it is. So I was happy with that last set. Like I said, I haven't did these in a long time, and it's not the end of the shoulder workout yet. But I'm happy with that. This is going to be a long haul, staying on these for a while. They're going to be my bread and butter, so I can progressively get stronger at them. And the idea will be to get shredded and continue to lift as heavy as possible. And then once I start filling up my glycogen levels, to start putting on size again. Of course, I don't want to overspill, but I want to fill out to the point where I'm big and full. So you just monitor that every day. And if you're still looking lean and hard every morning and you're not retaining a layer of water or fat anywhere that never used to be there, keep carb up clean, and fill out to your maximum. And if you do start noticing you're spilling over a little bit, cut back so you don't lose it. Because you tried really hard to get down to that low body fat level, and we want to hold on to it for a while. Yeah, at that point no, because you can't cheat on these. There's no way to cheat it up. There's no way to cheat barbell presses up unless you got a spotter. There's no way you can swing it. There's no way you can use any of your body to lift it. Once you're tuckered out and that muscle is done, that bar doesn't move. That's it. That bar doesn't move. It's not like doing barbell curls where you can still get a little bit of a swing or at least get some momentum. Or even with a bench press, guys start cheating a little bit, bouncing it off their chest or using momentum. You cannot do that with a shoulder press. So when you're done, you're done. So I'm just going to clear these off here now. I'm going to keep the bench here and get into some seated side raises. This is the way I do it, where I go one arm at a time. That way you can give the most amount of focus on each one arm at a time. Yeah. I'm breathing pretty hard, so I'm making this video for my brothers and sisters. And I don't know where I'm looking here. I never had my phone upside down all this time. I don't know, but I'll flip it over when I do the editing. I made this for you, my brothers and sisters, and it's not easy working 40 hours a week for anyone, and dieting, and training, doing errands, driving through traffic. But we can make it easy on each other as good Christians by being there for one another and encouraging one another and listening to each other and having a good laugh. And laughter is very healing, and we need to stick together, and that's what's going to help us endure. Peace.